Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're doing a bit of detective work. We're going to trace a hidden, scholarly motif buried deep within the Gospel of Mark. Using insights from the Ignatius Catholic Study Bible, we are unpacking a profound theological revelation that, honestly, fundamentally shifts how we understand one of the most famous narratives in history. Today, we are decoding the mystery of the Way.
It brings up a really fascinating question, doesn't it? Where does the road to glory truly end? To answer that, we have to embark on a deep dive investigation into the text itself. We're going to follow Jesus step by step on his fateful journey to Jerusalem. Because what looks like a simple geographical road trip, it's actually a masterclass in hidden theological architecture.
Okay, let's dive right into this with the number 7. If you look closely at chapters 8 through 10 in the Gospel of Mark, there is this highly deliberate repetition of a very specific phrase. Exactly 7 times the text mentions the way. Now sometimes our English translations kind of mute this by using words like journey or road or roadside. But if you look at the original Greek text, it is a relentless rhythmic drumbeat. The way, the way, the way. And the commentary from the Ignatius Catholic Study Bible brilliantly illustrates our first major clue here. It notes that, on a narrative level, this recurring motif tracks the steady, physical movement of Jesus toward Jerusalem. He is literally on the way to the holy city. But, as you might expect with Mark, there's a whole lot more happening beneath the surface than just a basic travel itinerary.
Because this deliberate repetition, it's absolutely no accident. It's a carefully orchestrated theological signpost pointing backward to a really ancient Old Testament precedent. See, Mark is writing to an audience who would have eventually picked up on these subtle cues. He's tapping directly into their deepest historical memories to explain exactly what Jesus is doing on this road.
Echoes of a new Exodus, the promise of Isaiah. To decode the true spiritual meaning of the way, we have to look back to the ancient history of the Israelites. There is an incredibly powerful typological connection between two historical journeys here. Think back to the Old Testament, where God led the Israelites on the way out of physical slavery in Egypt, right? Heading toward a physical promised land. Well, centuries later, the prophet Isaiah prophesied a second Exodus, and Jesus, he's fulfilling that exact prophecy. He is leading a new journey, but this time he's leading humanity out of the bondage of sin and toward heavenly glory.
To really grasp the weight of this, let's look at the Greek word exodus, which literally translates to a going forth. As the Study Bible points out, this word has a brilliant dual meaning. Yes, it refers to that historical departure from Egypt under Moses. But in the New Testament context, it refers to Jesus' death. This new exodus isn't about escaping a tyrannical pharaoh or, an oppressive political empire like Rome. It's about freeing the entire human family from a much deeper, far more insidious spiritual bondage.
But the sheer cost of this liberation is just staggering. Consider the Greek word litron, meaning ransom. Now, in the ancient world, this wasn't just a metaphor. This was a literal redemption price paid for the release of captives or slaves. By using this specific concept, the text is revealing that Jesus intends to pay the ultimate redemption price with his own life. His life is the currency used to purchase humanity back from its slavery to sin.
The climax, a destination of heroic suffering.
So the crucial takeaway here is that the way to heavenly glory is not some triumphant march toward an earthly political throne. In the first century, a lot of people fully expected the Messiah to be this military conqueror who would finally overthrow the Romans. But Jesus uses this journey to fundamentally reconfigure those messianic expectations. He's teaching his disciples that he must first clear this path through his own suffering and passion. The way to glory is quite literally paved with sacrifice.
And with profound gravity, the final destination of this journey is revealed in a scriptural mandate from Mark chapter 8, verse 34. If any man would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Jesus isn't just explaining his own destiny here. He is actively summoning his disciples to step onto the way and follow directly in his perilous footsteps.
We really have to pause and remember the historical context for a second. In the first century, taking up a cross was not a spiritual metaphor. It wasn't a piece of jewelry. As the commentary notes, the cross was a horrific, highly graphic Roman execution method. Criminals were forced to carry a heavy wooden crossbar on their shoulders to the site of their own torturous death. Making this demand was a radical, truly terrifying call to absolute self-denial.
This builds into the ultimate call to discipleship, revealing a stark three-step process. First, deny yourself. Second, take up your cross. And third, follow him. To truly walk the way, a disciple must commit completely. They have to be willing to endure persecution, hardship, and potentially even martyrdom. It's a total, unreserved surrender of one's own earthly ambitions. Looking back at this hidden theological architecture, we really start to realize just how masterfully Mark has guided us. What started as a simple recurring phrase, the way, mentioned 7 times, bloomed into a profound link to Isaiah's new Exodus. We saw exactly how Jesus leads a second Exodus from sin, how heavenly glory actually requires heroic suffering, and finally, how disciples are called to radical self-denial. It takes us from a subtle literary clue straight to the absolute core of Christian discipleship.
Yet it is so vital to understand that this story doesn't end in defeat. This demanding, perilous path is illuminated by a profound promise. Those who faithfully endure and walk the way will find resurrection. There is eternal glory waiting beyond the severe hardships of this life. The cross is the path for sure, but it is not the final destination. Which leaves us with this final striking consideration to ponder. Now that the literary mystery is solved and the true, heavy cost of the journey is fully revealed, knowing that it requires total self-denial and the carrying of your own cross, are you prepared to walk the way? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this deep dive has brought a whole new layer of meaning to your reading of the text.